My name is Eric Mintel. By night, I'm a professional jazz musician, but by even later at night, I investigate the paranormal. I, along with my team at Bucks County Paranormal Investigations, travel the country investigating all things paranormal. This is Eric Mintel Investigates. Hey everybody, it's Eric Mintel. Welcome to Eric Mintel Investigates. And tonight's show is a little different than what you're usually used to seeing from us. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to our guest, and he's also a phenomenal artist. You've probably seen him as one of our friends on Facebook. He's incredible paranormal artist, and his name is Timothy Wayne Williams. And we're going to talk to him about his career, and what he's meant to the Eric Mintel Investigates team, because we've used a lot of his artwork in a lot of our videos. And if you haven't seen some of those videos, you got to go check them out. And also joining me is the one and only Dominic Sattel. Tim, this is great, man. How you doing? Everything good?
I'm good, man. I'm really good. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. And you're coming to us from Indiana, right?
Yeah, Indianapolis.
How long have you been out there now?
Oh man, 35 years, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I was born. I was raised about an hour from here. So,
okay. So you pretty much Indiana your whole life.
Yeah, a whole life. Yeah.
That's awesome. I was always impressed with Tim's art and some of these great paintings that he did of all these hidden Bigfoots in these great paintings, and ghosts and UFOs, all kinds of really cool stuff. So I had approached him and I said, hey, would you be interested in doing a painting of, and I believe it was the first one was, what did we do the first one of? That was, you did a great painting, which is on the front cover of this shirt right now.
Didn't we do the train before that one?
That's right. We did the New Hope, the night fright at the New Hope Railroad.
That's right.
You did the ghost train.
I always forget about that.
Oh my God. And well, that piece, that sold immediately.
It sold immediately. Yeah.
We got so many comments on that. People love that painting. That was awesome.
That's cool. That's cool.
So I said to myself, I should reach out. And a lot of times in my career, that's what I've done. I've just reached out and asked people, and artists, because I look at it this way. You've got such great talent. Maybe this is another outside of the box way of getting it out there through a TV show, and it's just worked out great, and we're so happy you're part of the team. And and I know I appreciate that. And you just did one for us recently, which we're actually going to be releasing pretty soon. And the subject matter was none other than Dominic Sattel.
Yeah, Dom, I actually have painted you more than my wife now. So you should. I don't know what that means, but you just do with that what you will.
I've been clothed.
That's true.
Maybe the next one's not.
Eric, you didn't show him my first draft of that painting, did you?
Oh, no.
It was
shirtless,
bad.
Shirtless, and I looked like the Hulk. The green.
You looked like the Hulk, and a little bit like a Klingon. There was a little bit of Klingon.
There you go.
I never said I was great at people. I never said I was good at figurative art.
But we do say live long and prosper.
There we go.
So, oh my God. So, so I can't wait for people to see this new video, because you did not only one painting for us in this one, you did two, which is, and by the way, Tim also is high quality, but fast turnaround. And fast turnaround doesn't necessarily mean not good quality. He is one of those guys. How do you do this, man? I mean, you're phenomenal. I mean, it's like I said to you the one day, could you do this? Literally the next day, it was there.
Yeah, it's the style I've developed. It's not quite realism and it's not quite impressionism. It's like right in the middle. So I do a lot of impressionistic things in it. And if you really look at it close, if you had the painting in front of you, you would see, oh, it's really not as detailed as it looks. It's the illusion of detail. And I think I've developed that fairly well, and I'm still developing it. But yeah, and I love to paint too. I mean, it's all I want to do, literally.
Looking for a vacation home? Look no further. Will Nicholson of Tomlinson Sotheby's has just what you're looking for. World-class entertainment at Schweitzer Mountain or water sports at Lake Pend Oreille, Idaho has it all. Fresh powder skiing, live music, multiple restaurants, and downhill biking in the summer. And, if you're lucky enough, you might spot Bigfoot. He loves it here. Give Will a call today.
So yeah, if I have any spare time, I'm painting. So.
And that's a beautiful thing, because you as an artist too, being able to do that and being able to sell your artwork, which is even more phenomenal. So that is a beautiful situation.
It is.
So, take us back a little bit. Like, what got you? What was the fire in the belly that said, I want to do paranormal art? How did that all come about?
It's funny. I didn't set out to do it. I was painting like what any other, painter around here was doing, still lives, flowers and vases and just basic landscapes and everything. No big deal. Well, one day I was listening to a podcast and I was painting, and the podcast was paranormal related and said something about Bigfoot, and it just got me thinking. And I just put a little Bigfoot in the background just because for my own amusement. I thought it was kind of funny and cool. And I didn't tell the people that there's a Bigfoot in their painting. I didn't think anyone would care. And so it ended up, I started doing that to a lot of my landscapes. And I did a couple art shows where I never mentioned it. And I sold, I don't know, 6 or 7 paintings that the people have no idea there's a Bigfoot in there.
Wow.
So someday if I get well known enough, maybe they'll go, hey, wait a minute, I know that guy, and then they're going to go back. I always like the idea of them like walking by it someday. Just it's been hanging in their living room for 20 years, and then one day they walk by and they're just catch it in the right light and go, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I love the thought of that. But anyway, there was one day I was having a really slow art show, and I started telling the people who came in the booth, just to keep them in the booth longer, I was all like, hey, can you find the Bigfoot in this show? And before I knew it, man, people were going nuts. And then I posted it in a few paranormal groups that I was in, and it blew up.
Yeah.
I think the first painting I posted, I got 1,000 likes, like immediately. And I couldn't believe it.
I'm not surprised because it's a unique situation. It's unique. And the way you're doing it, it's like where's Waldo, but it's like where's Bigfoot.
I know.
Love that.
I tell people, it's like I'm not doing exactly something really groundbreaking here. It's just something fun. I know what I'm doing. It's I don't really like calling it a gimmick, because I would like to say, hey, if there's no Bigfoot in this painting, I think you'll like it anyway. It just happens to have it in there.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, some people say, it's your gimmick. And I'm like, I sell plenty of paintings where I don't put Bigfoot in it. So, I'm fine with it.
And you do other elements too. You'll have other elements in there as well. I know with the last video we just did, and I don't want to give it away too much, but Dominic was the subject matter, and also with the Shadow Woman was the subject matter as well. And Dom, you felt like a lot of energy up there, right? Up in and this was at Cheney Hall. But what were you feeling up there? We just did this video at Cheney Hall in Manchester, Connecticut, and folks we'll probably be releasing this probably in the next week or so. But you were feeling so much energy there that night.
Oh yeah, I sensed the woman that was up there. I picked up on Fred, who was there. He was one of the prop makers and behind the scenes. Plus, he also acted. But I picked up on him up in the catwalk, and then I had a good conversation with him when I was down in the scene building area, basically behind the scenes where they build the sets and hoist them up through the floor. But there was a lot down there. A lot of energy, a lot going on.
I know your head was swirling around what happened to the dressing room, and we don't want to give that away, but that was one of the paintings was about that. And Tim, you captured that beautifully. I thought that was just a beautiful situation. As far as, it wasn't a beautiful situation that Dom was in, because he got the crap scared out of him.
But you captured it at that real time. And that's what I love about it. You know, you're doing these paintings, and when I give you that idea, you are spot on with like where we are in the investigation at that point in the video, and you're able to take like a still of that, but make it a painting, and not make it exactly like the still, you know, not make it exactly like what it is, but you'll put your own interpretation on that, you know. And it's like me being an improviser, a musician, you know, improvising on the scene, you know, and that was really cool. And that's what I love about this whole thing. It's like, I don't know if Dom, I don't know if you remember this, but I know Tim, you'd probably remember this. There was that old series called Night Gallery with Rod Serling, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, you know, it was like a Twilight Zone type thing, but it was different, where he was in a gallery of all these really wild out, really wacky paintings, and they were just so abstract, you know. And you could tell there was like a ghost in one, or you could kind of see there was some kind of creature in there. And you know, that's when I first saw your artwork. That's immediately what it brought to mind.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, and so you know, you started that, and you've done some art shows, and then you're also a musician too. You're a drummer, right?
Yeah, I was before painting. Actually, it's funny. It's like painting was my fallback. Everyone's like, you gotta have a fallback, you know, if you don't become, you know, a rock star. But no, I mean, I seriously tried to become a rock star, and I mean from like the age 12 on, and I am not kidding. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I got real close. I mean, the band was doing some cool stuff. We before we broke up, we got invited to go to a very famous recording studio in Toronto, but we had to wait for Guns N' Roses to get out. So it was like, come on, Guns N' Roses, get out.
Get out of there.
Come on, we got good music to put down. So
that's great.
Yeah. But I mean, but the sad thing was it all fell apart before that happened. It was just crazy. And I was all like, I am not starting this from scratch again. So I was like, I'm just not doing it. And I didn't touch a drum set for 10 years, I bet.
Really?
But my mother-in-law overheard me saying one time that, you know, I've always wanted to try painting, and she got me like a set for Christmas or something. And then I was all like, damn, I should have been doing this the whole time. You know, it's like I made more money in painting in 2 years than I did the whole time I was in music. You know, it was just
wow.
So it was all like, okay, I should have been doing this. You know what I mean?
You know, we all have our callings, right? It's like, where does that come from? You know, it's like, you know, Dom was a business owner, right? And Dom was also, we were high school friends, and you know, we practiced martial arts together, and then all of a sudden he came into you know, into the team, and then I come to find out he's a spirit medium. I never knew that, you know. And so each one of us has these special things that we bring into the team. You know, Dominic, you give us like a preview of what we're in store for, you know, good or bad.
And you give us the hair.
Yeah. yeah, exactly.
Badass hair.
That's right, man. Well, look at you. Hey, this is a good hair band right here.
Don't make me put the hat on. I will put the hat on.
Now, wait a minute. Didn't you do some kind of like pirate painting recently, or a shirt? Show some of the people that, or if you have, I don't know if you have that.
I don't have the shirt. I got the hat.
Show them the hat. Let's see what that looks like. There you go.
See, it's based off a painting, and I did it in and it's hard to tell, but it's actually printed on there.
That's great. No, it looks beautiful.
That's kind of cool. It's funny because it's like my mom gave me this hat, and everyone was like, "Oh, that looks cool on you. You should wear it around." But I'm like, listen, I'm not down with country music. So I'm like, I've got to distinguish this. This is not a cowboy hat. So I was like, I know.
Shanghai Jazz has been a staple of gourmet cuisine and incredible live jazz for over 20 years. Owner Tom Donahoe has created an atmosphere where good food and good friends can gather for an unforgettable culinary and musical experience. And don't forget to check out the new Encore Lounge downstairs. Choose from a variety of drinks and wait for the show to begin. Shanghai Jazz, your destination for jazz.
But I'll tell you, the investigations have been incredible lately, and so Tim, what do you have next going on? I mean, you've always got a painting. What's your creative process? I mean, like, how does that work?
It's really cool. It's developed a lot different in the past maybe year and a half. It's crazy. I love sitting down with a blank canvas with no preconceived notion of what I'm going to do. I might have an idea, like maybe I want to use some blues, or I might have an idea about the sky, but that is it. And I love just starting to paint and seeing where things go. It sounds really pretentious, but I mean, I let the painting kind of lead me. It's like sometimes I'll just kind of put shapes down. I'll be like, oh man, that kind of looks like a mountain face, and then I'll just kind of go with it, and it just kind of grows out from there. And that is just so much fun. It's like creating worlds.
Yeah.
But
I like that a
super
lot.
fun.
That's very
Super fun.
What was your most challenging painting, would you say?
Oh man. I think I had mentioned it to you at one point, but I did a gigantic painting of Noah's Ark for a church.
Right.
Gigantic, 7.5 feet wide by 5.5 feet tall, something like that.
Wow.
And it was so big. I painted it actually on the wall of our living room. It was on canvas, but it took up the whole wall of this living room. And I was still fairly new at painting when I decided to take on this huge project. And it took me like 2.5 years to do. And it's like, it was so funny when I took it down. My kids were like, they never knew it not being there,
Oh, yeah.
and they were kind of like, wow, that's really weird that's gone, but
Wow.
but that one was really challenging. A lot of painting over and over. It's like, nah, it doesn't look right. I mean, I really wanted it to be good, so I just 2.5 years.
Wow, that's why. And then when it was taken down and then it went to the church then?
Right.
Okay. And then I know you had said like you were so used to seeing it there. And it was
Yeah,
like, it was a rough time.
we had talked before about, do paintings like, can they, hold maybe something spiritual, or, can they be haunted?
Yeah.
I don't know about haunted, but I know the emotional connection I had with that painting was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I watched my kids grow up as I was, painting that, and and I went to a wedding or something at that church, and I was like, I'm gonna go check out, my old painting, see how it's doing. And I was by myself. I started walking down this dark hallway, and it was just at the end of this dark hallway, and I felt just this immense sadness that it was alone, and I missed it, and it was really weird. I had this emotional connection with that painting.
You know what? I feel you on that one. I mean, that's like, it's like your baby. At least it's in the church, and at least it's like, it's getting good views. People are probably really enjoying it. So that's got to be a good feeling there. And the events, and that what a feeling that you could have of these people that are buying your art, your art is hanging up in their houses, and they love this stuff, so that's got to be a good feeling for you. And probably why you keep doing what you do. It's beyond the creative aspect. You're making a lot of people happy that way.
Yeah, I love it. It's, the money has never meant that much to me. It's great, but I mean, I just love painting so much. And anytime I sell anything, I feel really fortunate. I think.
Judith A. Harris, attorney, partner, and chair of the Estate Trust and Tax Group of the law firm of Norris, McLaughlin, with offices in Allentown, PA, Bridgewater, New Jersey, and New York City. Norris McLaughlin is a full-service law firm handling matters ranging from estates, trust and tax business law, litigation, real estate, intellectual property, healthcare law, municipal law, and immigration law, just to name a few. Norris McLaughlin.
Did you ever, now I don't know, Dom, if you ever thought about this, but I know we did an investigation one time at this restaurant, and the guy was always saying that this painting that was on the wall of this woman, he'd always find it on the ground, on the floor. in the morning. It would be like falling off, and it was securely on the wall. And it turns out that this place had some kind of weird mystery where this woman in the painting was supposed to be the one that used to live at this place back in maybe the 1800s. Well, they found, and it's supposed to be tied to some kind of weird story, but they found an old rusty revolver in what they call the pit underneath the kitchen, where they also found 10,000 whiskey bottles from the Prohibition era. So this is maybe from the 1920s. So this is so they found an old rusty revolver, and they found a bloody corset. So yeah, and then this woman in the painting, that the owner found this painting at a yard sale somewhere. So very strange coincidences that this painting found its way back into this place, and then it keeps falling off. I think it's like trying to tell her story. It's trying to get someone to tell that story. And have you ever run across any kind of painting that you've not particularly made, but any painting that you've ever run across that you get kind of weird vibes from?
Yes. There's a painting in the Indianapolis Museum of Art that creeps me out. And before I even get to it, I get an eerie feeling. And it's from, it's Bosch. I forget his first name, but he did those paintings back in, I think it was like the Renaissance, or no, I think it was medieval era, but they're real detailed, and they were like visions of hell, and they were just scary as all get out, just really horrible to look at. But I mean, it's weird. I think the first time I was in the hallway, I had a feeling, a weird, creepy feeling before I even saw it. This is a creepy painting. It really is.
Do you ever feel that? Do you ever get like those kind of feelings with things?
Yeah, I mean, I can touch objects and I get feelings, and I get the sense of where they were in that time, what they were thinking. I mean, I've done that before on investigations where I can pick up, a clock or a wristwatch or something like that, and I get the feeling of what that person was feeling at the time. And there's some out there that they're creepy, that definitely have something going on with them. So it's not surprising.
Eric, I will say one thing about paintings is, like, sometimes I'll do one of the paintings with the Bigfoot in them, and I'll forget where I put him.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, and then someone will give up. If you go to my website, it's funny. I have a page. It's called "I Give Up,"
Okay.
And if you go to the page, it's kind of funny. It just says, how long have you been a quitter? And then it says, can I have your parents' number so I can ask them why they raised a quitter? So, anyway, but so when people give up, sometimes they'll ask me will you circle it or something, or, and sometimes I have to grab the painting at home and go, where did I put it? And I will tell you, more often than not, once I see it, it scares me. I mean, you just kind of, oh, hey, that kind of jumps out at you,
Yeah. I mean, I did that one time. Like, there was one time, one of your paintings, it was looking for Bigfoot. I mean, I could not find it for the life of me. I was there looking at the whole thing, and it took me like a half hour. I'm like, where? I kept coming back to it. Like, where is this?
I love that.
Finally, the whole day was shot. Where is this? Where is it? And then I saw Dominic. No, I saw.
There you go.
I think that's what you should do, Tim. I think you should do a "Where's Dominic?"
Well, no, I put Billy Ray Cyrus in my painting sometimes, so there's that.
There you go. I love it.
Don't break my heart.
In the heart of Quakertown, you'll find McCoole's Red Lion Inn, a beautiful, historic restaurant where friends can gather and enjoy award-winning food and drink time and time again. And next door, step inside the beautiful McCool's Arts and Events Center and wait for the show to begin. McCool's Red Lion Inn.
I want to start doing videos where it's kind of weird. I have this weird idea about I don't really want to do a painting instructional video because there's way more people more qualified than I. But I've had a ton of people say, I just want to watch you paint, And I kind of like that idea. And like, I don't think I would be completely silent. I think I would talk, a bit, but I wouldn't be all like, okay, let's all grab our brushes,
Yeah.
It'd be more like I would talk kind of through kind of what I'm thinking, as I'm painting. And so that's something I'm kicking around. I really want to do that.
I like that idea a lot, and I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
And what about like you do you could do like the time lapse paintings
Yeah.
too. Those are cool. I know we had talked about, and if anybody's listening to this, we wanted to do, we were talking about doing the Eric Mintel Investigates, the paintings of Timothy Wayne Williams, basically the paintings that you're using in our videos, and doing a book, where we're compiling some of the videos or some of the paintings, and then a brief synopsis of each of the cases. I think that would be such a great like coffee table book. And I know people have asked you for a coffee table book for your paintings. And that's the thing. So if there's any wealthy philanthropists out there, anybody that wants to do anything like that and help us out, for sure, there's a market for everything. And you're certainly talented, and that's something different, I think, too. That's not necessarily out there.
In the heart of beautiful Bucks County, you'll find Peddler's Village, a village of shopping and dining, a village of family fun, a village of elegance. Visit Peddler's Village today and make memories that last forever.
And thank you so much, man. You are such a great addition to this team. Really, really appreciate your time and your efforts and what you're bringing to Eric Mintel Investigates and all these wonderful paintings. And, you got to keep us posted on what more you're going to be doing, and, keep us posted on the video. If you're going to do some videos of people that can watch you paint, we'll definitely share that as well.
Cool. Thank you so much. It's been really fun.
You're welcome, man. Dominic, I will see you later. Go get a shower now, man. And I will see you next week, Dom, when we go out to Elkhorn and we do our follow-up investigation of the Beast of Bray Road. So listen, guys, have a good night. Thanks so much, Tim. Thanks, Dom. And everybody, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.